effort to maintain what it says is the religious neutrality of the state, Quebec is tabling new legislation that will build on its secularist values by further limiting how religious symbols and demonstration can be displayed in the public realm. Roger Collins joins us now with more. Roger?
Manisa, this latest push by the Quebec government would put out limits on when and where public prayer can take place. It would also prohibit public institutions like hospitals from offering kosher or halal meals, among other things. And the move is drawing a lot of criticism from religious groups and civil liberty advocates alike. Ago, government is clamping down on its subsidies for private religious schools that hire teachers and accept students based on their religious beliefs. It's part of Bill 9, known as the Act Respecting the Reinforcement of Laïcité in Quebec. If the bill makes it through, it would prohibit workers in subsidized daycares and private schools from wearing religious symbols like kippas or hijabs. It would also put an end to kosher and halal meals in public institutions like hospitals. Any private school that selects students or staff based on their religious affiliation would lose out on public subsidies. Praying in public institutions or spaces like parks and universities would be outlawed unless proper authorization was granted. These are just a few of the elements within the bill, and the entire thing is being insulated preemptively thanks to the notwithstanding clause measure contained in it.
The government of Quebec, by pushing these laws in a very crude fashion and by protecting and shielding these laws from charter legal challenges with the application of Section 33 with a notwithstanding clause, has always been about circumventing Canadian democracy and destroying the heart of Canadian democracy for their own political benefits.
Jean-François Leberge, Quebec's minister responsible for secularism, says all government-funded institutions will have 3 years to make the necessary changes or risk losing funding.
CEGEPs and universities are not temple or church or those kind of places. So, slowly, because we wanted to accommodate, we went too far. And people in Quebec said, really? We want this? And they said, no, it's not normal. So we changed the rule, we changed the law, and those prayer rooms will have to be closed and used for universities' purpose.
But critics maintain the bill singles out certain groups.
Bill 9 has a disproportionate effect on the Muslim community in Quebec, but it also has a disproportionate effect on other religious communities, and it targets many religious communities throughout the province.
Other experts say it's unavoidable and not intentional.
And it's true that in its implementation, it will have probably a disproportionate impact on Muslims, probably secondarily on Orthodox Jews. So, I mean, there is a way in which it can be seen as discriminatory in terms of who it's going after, but I think there's also a deeper sense of secularism in this, in terms of presumably protecting people who don't want any show of religiosity in their sort of any public space.
The bill will include grandfather clauses for those who already wear religious symbols in the aforementioned public spaces and lay out fines for those that break the new rules. But when asked how the measure will be enforced, the minister maintained that people will simply respect the government and its laws.
But at the end, we respect our institution. We respect laws. And I think that every Quebecer should be proud of this.
Quebec is set to hold its next general election on October 5th, 2026, and some are suggesting this move is the current government's bid at shoring up support. In the meantime, there's no word on when it will be voted on, but the minister in charge says Quebecers can expect to see that happen sometime this winter or spring.